so heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You got me like.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Astonishing Studios, where in addition to food machines, we will start creating LEGO mini builds that simplify everyday life. In a poll, this video concept was voted over LEGO magic tricks, but have no fear mini Houdinis, that video is also coming very soon. Every hack featured in this video is 100% our own idea, and unlike most of the ideas circulating YouTube, these are not concepts recycled from Pinterest. That means no LEGO lamps, no LEGO safes, and especially no LEGO phone stands are featured in this video. Especially phone stands, I know you all know that one by now. So, without further ado, whip out a bin of used LEGO bricks, or purchase a LEGO classic brick box, which contains many of the pieces you'll need, and let's start building these little knickknacks. If you're anything like us, at home you have a bin filled with batteries, but when it comes time to get double A's for a toy you're bound to forget in a week, you struggle to distinguish the fresh batteries from the used ones. As it turns out, round 1x1 plates fit snugly over the caps of these batteries, and since they're the most common LEGO piece, not 2x4s as many assume, even builders with small collections can pull this off. In our case, we capped fresh batteries with lime plates, weak batteries with yellow plates, and dead ones with red ones. Overall, with a handful of 1x1 plates, you've saved yourself from future battery pandemonium. Gogurt, where do we begin? Nothing epitomizes childhood first world problems like the gram of yogurt you could never squeeze out of your Gogurt tube, aka Yoplait tubes, aka Froobs for you international viewers. To end the worldwide epidemic, we designed a Gogurt squeezer with 9 LEGO pieces. You will need 4 3x1 curved slopes, 2 1x2 plates, 2 1x4 plates, and a completely assembled swiveling hinge plate. Begin by taking a pair of the 3x1 curves, putting them back to back, and connecting them at the bottom with the 1x2 plate. Then, on the bottom of that 1x2 plate, you're going to put on a 1x4 plate, and you're going to copy this onto the other side, but make sure it's symmetrical. Unlike this one, the 1x4 over here is offset to the opposing side. Now, this area of each which is not covered with a 1x4 blue plate, we're going to connect the two together using our swiveling hinge plate. To use this trinket, secure it around the bottom of a Gogurt tube, and with your other hand, hold the Gogurt tube in place. Now you're going to slide this upwards until the tube is drier than Wizard 101 after 2012. I need to wash my hands. Although you can inflate water balloons quicker with the hose, we crafted a portable alternative. You will need a filled water bottle, water balloons, a nut picker or pencil, 3 long LEGO pneumatic tubes, 1 LEGO two-way valve with 3 pinholes, and finally a LEGO pneumatic pump with a black top. Begin by removing the lid from a water bottle and piercing 2 holes into the cap from the top. We suggest using a nut picker if available because pencils are less strong and this is metal. We already made the 2 holes ahead of time. Make sure these holes are expanded just enough so you can fit pneumatic tubes through, but make sure that you still have an airtight seal, which is crucial to this build. Take our first pneumatic tube and put it through the hole until it's almost fully through the inside. So when this is in the bottle, it will be fully submerged in water, leave a little bit hanging out, say that much. The second one we're going to do the exact opposite for. We want a little bit to go inside the water bottle and we want the rest to dangle out. Take our pump with the black top and connect it to the hose which is barely into the bottle's interior. Then take our LEGO two-way valve and connect it to the other pneumatic hose on the leftmost pin. Take the last LEGO pneumatic hose and put it over the central pinhole of the two-way valve. Make sure that this axle of the two-way valve is over the pinhole that is currently not covered. Now put your cap system on, so that means there will be 1 pneumatic hose going straight inwards all the way to the bottom. Here's how we're going to use it. We have the pump, and we have this pneumatic hose. On this pneumatic hose, you're going to take a water balloon and hold it around the tube and start pumping. And after, say, 50 pumps, we have our water balloon. Even with the portable water balloon system, one issue remains: tying the thing. But there's no need to suffocate your fingertips with a balloon tire. This is a 9-piece Lego balloon tire that we designed, and when you put the balloon nozzle through these connector pin pegs, rotate it over, and relocate the nozzle of the balloon between these two L-beams, pull out, and just like that, your water balloon is tied. We require two 90-degree 3 and 5 hole beams, one 5-hole beam, two stud tall round pin connectors, two black Technic pins, and two long friction pins. Insert Technic pins into the 2nd and 5th holes of the 5 stud long beam. Then put the blue friction pins into the 3rd and 4th, and make sure that they protrude through the other side as well. Now on the side where only the blue pins protrude, put on these two stud tall round pin connectors. Now take the two L beams, put them back to back, and then take the piece we built earlier and put it on so that the two tall round pin connectors are right in the middle of the back of the L. Tying balloons requires a certain technique, but after 3 minutes of practice, you'll be a Division I balloon tying professional. So take an air balloon or a water balloon. I'm doing an air balloon just to be a little bit safer this time. You're going to wiggle it between these two stud tall round pin connectors, then wrap the part of the balloon under the L beams, then over the L beams. So it should look like this. Make sure not to mess up that move. And once we have this balloon tied around, you're going to relocate the nozzle of the balloon between the two L beams, so it should look like this. And after you've done that, all you do is yank off the balloon and it ties itself. Ta-da! Did you vandalize your Lego bricks with Sharpie years ago? It's time to revive them with the spray of perfume and absorb the mess with a napkin. For example, here I have a Lego movie theater. Let's just remove the screen and write Lego exclamation mark. I wrote upside down, so don't judge my handwriting. And just take a spray of perfume or two, and you can already see that the Sharpie is coming off of the bricks. Take your napkin, rub it, and just like Houdini, it's gone. So here's how the process works. Unlike paper, which absorbs ink within its fibers, Lego bricks actually have a very smooth surface. Unless you step on them, of course, that's a very different story. Therefore, Sharpie has a weak cling to plastic, meaning it can easily be extracted with moisture, particularly alcohol, which is common in fragrances.
Don't believe in ghosts, yeah.
Doritos are great when you're trying to 360 no-scope zombies, but even a hardcore gamer occasionally struggles to finish a bag. Elastics are definitely the simplest way to reseal chips, but in case you're interested in style points, gather 4 L beams with 5 and 3 holes, 2 black Technic beams, 2 long friction pins, and finally, a 2-hole beam and a 3-hole beam. Place black pegs into either end of the 3-hole Technic beam, and then we're going to place the 2 blue pegs into the 1x2 beam. Don't tell the Lego police, but we're actually going to connect the L beams so each one is connected to 1 blue peg connector and 1 black peg. So you're going to put the first one through the blue, the second one through the black, and you're going to do the same on the opposite side. As you can see, the L's face inwards and replicate their positions with our remaining beams via the blue pegs. Sealing a bag is very simple. Rotate these beams upwards, fold the bag down, say once or maybe multiple times if you've already eaten a lot of the nacho cheese Doritos. Then take the open side facing frontwards and close it around the Doritos bag so it's sandwiched between the 2 layers of L beams. If you get fancy with the spices, you can relate to these 2 issues. First, when the spice container is too shallow for your measuring cup, and second, when the shaker lid does not restrict spices as much as you desire. The solution for these contrasting dilemmas is actually fairly simple. Plug the holes with round 1x1 Lego plates. Similar to the AA batteries, some spice containers are compatible with Lego studs. By plugging most of their holes, we can actually pour a fair amount of spice directly over the spoon without worrying about under or over pouring. Voila! With only a little bit of spillage, we have drastically minimized the amount of mess we make when we pour spices into our 1/4 teaspoon measuring cup. So this Lego mixer requires a Power Functions battery box, a mini motor, 2 2x2 corner plates, a 12 stud long axle, and 7 90-degree 3 stud by 3 stud half beams. Turn the mini motor over, and on the bottom we are going to put on the corner plates. Should be put on like so. Now insert an axle into the mini motor, and then we're going to put on our Technic pieces. Make sure they're each about 1 stud apart or so. After eyeballing it, that seems about right. Now we're going to connect our mini motor to the battery box right here. Then we're going to weave this wire between the back of the battery box so we can clip the mini motor on. And just like that, you have built your mixer. Now let's get our drink mix. Here we have our cup. Let's put in some water. And then I have a hot chocolate mix, but it actually works with water as well, it says. So technically this is going to be like a cold hot chocolate, or as most reasonable people would call it, chocolate milk. So let's take our mixer and hope I don't make a mess. That should suffice. I can tell I definitely put too much powder in for the water, but it mixed thoroughly for Lego especially. Before the brick and axle separator was introduced in 2012, LEGO fans relied on thick green separators. While these new separators can remove axles, they're kind of inconvenient given the elevated handle, and although they do pop up tiles, which is pretty useful, the old separators could be used together to remove stacked plates, which is a considerable feature that, as you can tell from this setup, does not work with the new brick separators. See? Today we will be building this brick separator. You will need 2 4x1 Lego curved slopes, 1 2x3 plate, 1 2x4 plate, 1 2x6 plate, and 2 2x2 tiles. Begin by combining our small plates to form a 2x7 plate, and on top of that, put on a 2x6 plate. Now in the center of this 2x6 plate, you're going to put on 2 2x2 tiles. And see, we sort of have a staircase on this side. We're going to put on our 4x1 curves. That's all you need to do to build this separator. Now use this alongside the new separator, and now we can actually separate stacked plates. Just use this as the bottom separator, this as the top separator. I'll give you a side angle, and just like that, we have removed our plate. As much as we love it, creating life hacks is definitely exhausting. So we decided to energize and celebrate with Gatorade Popsicles. You will need a 6x6 inverted dish, a 1x1 cone, a 2x2 round plate with an axle hole, an optional minifigure head, and a 2 stud tall round connector pin. Take our 12 stud long axle, put the cone on one end, and then on the other end, slide on this 2 stud tall round connector pin. Then from there, put on our 6x6 dish, and then for our last Lego piece for a while, we'll put on the minifigure head after the popsicle is done. You're going to slide on our 2x2 plate, circular with an axle hole. So it should look like a popsicle stick so far. Now for our non-Lego pieces, you're going to take a non-carbonated drink. Carbonated drinks actually mess up the security of the popsicle stick to the actual popsicle itself. So take something like Gatorade or Powerade, and then take a shot glass. Pour it into the tall shot glass, almost to the top, but leave some space for the axle. That's pretty good. Now put this on, and I'm going to go to my fridge, or actually my freezer, and I'm going to leave that in there for 4 hours, or to be safe, 6. It has been over 6 hours since I first put this Gatorade Popsicle in the freezer, so it's safe to say this is fully solidified. Now a few things I need to address, and you can probably see on screen already. First of all, the popsicle shrunk because you actually need to pour lukewarm water over the glass so that it shrinks enough so you can pull it out without having to destroy the glass. Second, I put the minifigure head on top. That's optional. I feel like it personalizes your popsicle. So you can actually just take the lid off and start licking. I actually tasted this and it actually tastes very accurate. I'll be honest, pink Gatorade, not my favorite flavor, but it tastes exactly how it should. Hopefully you built or will consider building some of the hacks shown in this video, and we advise you obtain a LEGO Classic brick box to obtain many of the pieces used in these creations. Also, we hope you enjoyed the pilot episode of our new series. We're currently brainstorming other ideas such as LEGO magic tricks and mini weapons, and your suggestions would be highly appreciated as well. So, take care, and we hope to see you with the future video.